I am Lights Camera Jackson. It is Sunday, April 24, 2022, and welcome to the return of LCJ Live. We were off last Sunday for Easter, and the previous Sunday celebrated 200 episodes and 4 years of doing LCJ Live here on Sundays, breaking down the breaking box office news and so much more. Thank you again to everyone who's watching today and who's been watching for the past 4 years and 200 episodes. I've got my pals here from Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which is still doing very well, but your new number one movie is The Bad Guys from DreamWorks. I'm happy for the DreamWorks team. Look, over these last couple years, DreamWorks has faced a lot of curveballs. From Trolls World Tour pivoting to VOD, to The Croods A New Age fighting its way through the return of theaters in November 2020, to Spirit Untamed not doing a whole lot, to the Boss Baby Family Business not doing nearly as well as the first Boss Baby did. Well, now the biggest open since pre-pandemic for a DreamWorks animated movie, The Bad Guys, $24 million, leading your weekend box office this weekend by a lot. It won by a lot. I am pleasantly surprised. I'm glad, and it shows, look, families still go to the movies. They want to get out of the house. They want to go to the movies. Many kids off from school this week for spring break, and they took full advantage of The Bad Guys and Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in second with $15.2 million. It's at $145.8 million, basically identical to what the first Sonic the Hedgehog made for Paramount back in 2020, and then it got cut off by the movie theaters closing for the pandemic. So Sonic 2 right even with the first Sonic, and it's still going to make a lot of money. But The Bad Guys is pretty good, $24 million. Is it one of the biggest DreamWorks animation opens of all time? No, but it's bigger than the $16 million of Boss Baby 2, the $10 million of The Croods, and Spirit Untamed, $6 million, and the biggest since pre-pandemic. So DreamWorks and Universal have to be happy today. Universal and Focus also sort of happy about the Northman's $12 million. I saw the Northman. I'll give you my thoughts in a little bit on that. Also, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent from Lionsgate, $7.2 million. Not so hot on that. I'll give you my thoughts on all that in just a second. Fantastic Beasts, Secrets of Dumbledore, last week's number one, dropping to third, $14 million. Huge drop from $43 million down to $14. It's at $67.1 million after 10 days. The first Fantastic Beasts opened at $74 million. Second one, $62. And now after 10 days, this Fantastic Beasts has barely crossed what that second movie's open was at $67.1 million. Ooh, I really think Warner Brothers has to be thinking about the future of the Fantastic Beasts franchise. Everything Everywhere All at Once, $5.4 million. It's at 27. It's doing very well for A24. The Lost City, $4.4 million. It's at 85.4 for Paramount. They have to be really happy about that. For a rom-com, that's pretty good. Father Stew, $3.3 million. It's at $14 million bucks. For Sony, also Sony with Morbius, $2.3 million. It's just shy of 70. I think it's lower than they hoped, especially considering what Venom 2 did and some of their other, obviously Spider-Man, some of the other superhero films recently. Rounding out your top 10 is Ambulance with $1.8 million. For Universal, $19 million. I think Michael Bay had to be thinking this was going to make a lot more, which means The Batman is out of the top 10 this weekend. It made another $1.5 million. It's at $367.7, but The Batman has now flown out of your weekend box office top 10 just a week after Spider-Man No Way Home exited the box office. So I saw The Northman. I like The Northman. It is a wild time. It is an epic in every sense of the word. It has the action. It has the intensity. It has some great dramatic scenes. There's one in particular with Nicole Kidman. Everybody's talking about it, and I agree. Wow. Also, Anya Taylor-Joy is very good. Alexander Skarsgård, Ethan Hawke early on in the movie. Willem Dafoe early on in the movie. There are moments that I will not be forgetting for a long time. It's also such a movie that has an impact on you where it's like, well, it's a very good film. I don't know if I want to see it again, and I don't know if I want to see it again right away. It's one of those kind of movies that maybe I'll watch a little bit of it a few years down the line, but right now I just want to savor the experience. It's disturbing at times. It's really, it really makes you think. It's got themes that resonate, I think, with everybody. Obviously, everybody over a certain age, kids cannot see this movie. But The Northman pleasantly surprised me because I was expecting it was going to drag and be dull. And it's not. It really is. There are peaks and valleys. There are high points. There are stronger moments than others. I think the opening section is not nearly as good as what happens later on. But I am impressed. Is it as wild and crazy and good as The Lighthouse? You could argue in some ways it is from Robert Eggers. You could argue, I still feel with what Willem Dafoe and Pattinson did in The Lighthouse, it was kookier, but gotta give Eggers a lot of credit for this. Northman, I am impressed. I am not impressed with The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and I think 7.2 million is lower than what Lionsgate hoped for, especially considering what the movie is, and they thought it would bring in all these people because of Nicolas Cage, a movie about Nicolas Cage. But it doesn't use him or his resume or his life or his career to their full potential. As I wrote the other day, the stories he has been telling on all these talk shows are better than anything in the actual movie. The stories about his night of roulette, how he went from $20 to $20,000 in 30 minutes in the Bahamas and then donated it all to a charity. How he had a two-headed snake, how he wanted a bat cave. There's one or two more. How he got stalked by two mimes. It's just how he sings in Japanese to order at restaurants. And Corden, when he heard that story, said, why is that scene not in the movie? That would have been the best scene in the movie. And when I was hearing all the stories he told on Kimmel, I'm going, why are these not in the movie? Why did you pick such a bland story to go along with when you're doing a movie about a guy who's one of the most fascinating actors in this business? And they blew it. They blew it, and it shows. You know? Some of the niche critics, we love these lines, we love these Paddington 2 is the greatest movie of all time lines. No, you're not playing to the masses. You gotta play to the masses, which is what the Northman does. But you're not playing to the masses here with Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. You're playing to the people who love and love the meta, and love Hollywood, and Nicolas Cage, and it's a small pool. When you go along with a story that does not work. I like movies that do meta well. This one does not. It's very niche. It's more niche than I think Lionsgate expected it to be. And it's not nearly as good as it should be. That's the problems. Those are the problems with Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That's why it didn't do well. That's why it's going to continue to not do well. And it's just a wasted opportunity. Is it the worst movie I've ever seen? No. Because the last third of the film finally gets kind of fun. Sort of satisfying. Because it turns into a Nicolas Cage action movie. And he actually finally gets to show what he can do as an actor. He's not put into a box. You know, he's forced into this box in the first hour of that film and can't escape from it. And finally he does, and we get a little bit of something there. So I say, if you're going to go see it, you stick with it till the final section. But even so, it plays out in such typical fashion. That's The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. This week there's a few new movies in the theaters I have seen. One is the best movie of the year so far, Pompo the Cinephile. Oh, wow. This is a movie. If you love movies, you need to go see this movie. Buy the tickets now. It is playing Wednesday night, Thursday night in select theaters around the country through Fathom Events, and then playing with regular runs at select theaters starting Friday. It is an anime film about movie making, about movie financing, about editing, about the joys of falling in love with cinema, about producing, about the relationship, about making a movie trailer, about the relationship between your writer and your producer and your director, it and your actors. It is an incredible achievement from Takayuki Hirao. Love it. Love this movie, Pompo the Cinephile. Go see it this week. That is a much better movie about movies than The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Love Pompo the Cinephile. I've also seen the new Liam Neeson action movie, Memory. I am not allowed to talk about my thoughts on Memory until midweek, but it is the latest one. 4 out of the last 5, I think, Liam Neeson action movies have been open road releases for the theaters. The Ice Road was, interestingly, road, and yet it didn't go to open road. It went to Netflix. But you had Honest Thief, The Marksman, Blacklight, and now this. The question is, those other 3 movies opened to about $3.6 million each. Will this go higher, lower, or be exactly the same at $3.6 million? Depends on how they've been marketing this movie. If people are tired of these Liam Neeson films, nobody's going to go. Nobody. And Blacklight did much less than the other 2 in terms of their totals at the box office, so I only think it's going to do a couple $1,000,000. But is it even worth people to go see for the couple $1,000,000? I will let you know midweek. The Duke is going to expand to more theaters. The Duke opened in 4 places, $29,000 this weekend, $7,200 average. Lovely film. Jim Broadbent, fantastic. One of my favorite movie characters in a long time. Helen Mirren, so good. Supporting role as his wife, but she's fantastic. One of her better performances in the last 15 years. Go see The Duke. It is fun. It's a good time. Got some emotion and power to it towards the end. The Duke. Check it out. Also, Charlotte. New animated film, drama for adults about Charlotte Solomon. The artist whose incredible work has lived on. And I talked with the directors Eric Warren and Tahir Rana, and you can get that Animation Scoop Q&A at animationscoop.com. You can also tomorrow get a new LCJ Q&A podcast episode with Eric Goldberg, the artist behind the Genie, the iconic Disney character. Eric is part of the new Disney Plus series Sketchbook, which premieres this Wednesday, the 27th. And it's all about these iconic Disney artists drawing their iconic characters. So I talk with Eric about drawing the Genie and much more. We get into that. If you want to listen to this LCJ, that's tomorrow. If you want to listen to a new LCJ Q&A podcast episode, I talk with the director and producer of Lightyear. Yes, I've seen 30 minutes of the new Buzz Lightyear movie. It's going to be in theaters on June 17. It is a Toy Story prequel because this is the movie Andy saw when he was a child that made him fall in love with the Buzz Lightyear character. It is a Toy Story prequel. It's a cool concept, and I talk with Angus MacLean and Galen Sussman. You want that episode? Go to lights-camera-jackson.com in the podcast section, also lcj.podbean.com. You can read that interview at animationscoop.com. So a lot in the animation world. So cool to talk with the people from Lightyear. And by the way, tomorrow night on Price is Right at night, you've got Rachel Brosnahan from Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I'm going to check that out. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel just wrapped up season 4. They're going into season 5 production, the final season of the Amazon Prime Video comedy hit for them. So this week, if I were to pick what's going to win the box office again next weekend, it's got to be The Bad Guys again. Because families still need something to see. So Bad Guys could do another 13-14, win the weekend. Sonic may do another 10, and Memory could do 2 to 5-ish. It depends on exactly which way it's going to go. And now we're just about 10 days away from Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, kicking off the summer movie season. We're just 10 days away from the start of the summer movie season. It's amazing that we're already here. And hopefully a big summer ahead. It's going to be a big summer for animation. Bob's Burgers, Lightyear, Minions, Paws of Fury, DC League of Super Pets. Yeah, that's a powerhouse group right there. Every couple weeks, something new for families, for animation. And it's going to be big for action movies. Doctor Strange, Top Gun Maverick, Jurassic World Dominion, Bullet Train, Thor, Love and Thunder. And there's one or two others. Nope, from Jordan Peele. And so, yeah, we've got a big May, June, July. August, I'm not so sure right now. But May, June, July. Plus, for adults, you've got alternative programming with Downton Abbey, A New Era, Men, The Black Phone, and I know I'm forgetting one or two others. There's a couple other Focus Features movies that haven't put out trailers yet that are going to be putting out some things soon. Elvis. So... yes, it's basically 3 categories. You've got the big action movies, you've got alternative programming for adults, and you've got animation family content. Those are the 3 categories that are going to be dominating this summer, with a few others sneaking in. And we are so close to that already. It is amazing. Finally, do want to mention today kicks off the 3rd annual Back to You podcast, Doing It Again marathon. For today, for 20 days, an episode a day for 20 days. It all leads up to a brand new episode of the Back to You podcast, Saturday, May 14. Saturday, May 14. But if you want to get caught up before then, an episode a day for 20 days of the Back to You podcast, 3rd annual Doing It Again marathon, kicking off today with episode 1. So excited to bring you the new episode on May 14. Thank you for watching today's episode of LCJ Live. As always, follow me here on Twitter at LCJ Reviews, youtube.com/lightscamerajackson, Instagram at lightscamjackson, and lights-camera-jackson.com. I'll be back on 99.5 The River this week. Took a week off. I'll be back there. We'll have LCJ Q&A podcast episodes, animationscoop.com Q&As, and much, much more and fun surprises on the way. Thank you for watching LCJ Live. Stay well. Enjoy the last week of the spring movie season. And when we're back here next Sunday, we'll do some predictions for Doctor Strange. Jason Black, sneak it in there. before I say goodbye for today's episode of LCJ Live, we'll see you next Sunday for the end of the spring movie season and the kickoff of the summer movie season for 2022. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Thank you for watching LCJ Live. Bye-bye.